And you will ask yourself, what the hell is that?
What is a quantum double? Please tell me.
Jesus Christ, it sounds so exotic. Well, it has to do with quantum physics as well. Garnier was a scientific. He studied astrophysics.
Cosmology.
Yeah, and cosmology. And he discovered that everything in the universe has a double, an energetic double, like galaxies and planets. I mean, like that happened in macro universe, and also in microcosmos, like in a subatomic world. So every particle has a double, and they are both in relationship. Like when you see the yin yang, one of them is coming bigger and the other one smaller, and that's recursive. So so then he thought everything in the cosmos has a double, and in the quantum physics as well. So then the organisms have a double as well. And so then, which is our quantum double? And you were talking about this GPS compass that we all have, intuition and instinct, and it has to do with that. It's kind of in primitive times they used to call it maybe angel guard or our soul, and now this is a scientific way of discovering that this is the quantum double is like a kind of processor that is all the time processing information of your surroundings, to be able to make your body be in equilibrium, in balance with that surroundings. So if you are hot now, then probably you take out your coat. If you are cold, you would put on the coat. And in the meanwhile, we are talking, and then your if you eat something, your body is processing that food, and you don't even notice. But we are processing information in different dimensions at the same time. And our quantum double is also processing the information in the surroundings by and transmitting that information to your body by intuition and by instincts. If it's by instincts, it has to do with a memory that every organism has, to be able to bring information of whatever every organism since the beginning of the world was saved in this kind of memory, quantum memory. And so every organism every night, when you are dreaming, is processing whatever you did during the day. And then it's trying to find answers to be able to compose or balance your body in relation to the experiences you had that has to do with survival. So if you were driving your car and you almost had crashed, then at night probably you will dream with something that has to do with it and try to find some answers, and maybe you have a nightmare or something, because the brain is like a processor and it's processing most of the information during the night. And this is very interesting. We didn't know that during the night we are creating next day. So and the way to know how to balance yourself and be aligned is to all the time distinguish if the information you are receiving is from the past, from instincts, or like you will be reacting, like programs like you suddenly are very hungry, or you suddenly are very angry and you have lots of emotions, or by intuition. The intuition, if you can remember what an intuition is, what is this kind of language? You know something, you know that something is real, but you still don't know, you don't have the words to mention it because it's not rational. If it was rational, then you would have the right words.
You have the feeling of certainty without being able to explain how they got there or what's going on with that.
Exactly. It's a gut feeling. Even the ants, when it's going to rain, they go and look for this grass and take food
earthquakes.
Or earthquake, the animals will leave, or tsunamis, because the animals are using this anticipation. They are anticipating information through these wave particles and subatomic wave particles in the surroundings, and we make this exchange via our body. and then we this information goes quicker than a fish, says Garnier. And so we receive this information, and our body is adapting itself. So we would be leaving this offer of pay one and you go to IT island and have a nice vacation if we were into having the intuition that the tsunami was coming. But because we are so rational and we are not used to use our intuition, maybe we will be there till the tsunami is coming to us. Yeah. But the animals are already gone. And because they are in contact with that language.
The quantum double is the same if I say like my higher self, my true self, my spiritual self, and the difference without and with the velocity, you know, that is like much quicker. I would like you to comment on that.
Yeah, when you are using your rational brain to do these hypothetic thinkings or deductive thoughts, I mean, that would be like much slower in processing information than our double quantic, because it's like a kind of two trains that go in at different speed. One goes at 1 kilometer per second, and the other one goes at 1 million kilometers per second. Yeah, so it's like 1 million times quicker. So if we are using our reasoning to solve problems, conflict, or what we perceive that conflicts of every day, we are using the opportunity of getting by intuition much more information and more complete and more in balance with our planet, our surroundings, other beings, other elements of the same system. So there are different dimensions, like we can call like 7 dimensions of existence from this theory, in which you coexist in all of them. Like when, like my body is doing this digestion and my emotions are doing this process of activating chemistry to be able to react, or my thoughts are processing at this other speed. So my thoughts are quicker than my emotions. So if you suddenly are thinking about like a very nice meal, probably you will have this kind of emotional reaction. I mean, of chemistry, or like
just salivating,
because you are keeping this image in your mind, and the more you keep it, the more this emotion is activating. It's like the taste of a thought, the emotion.
Yes, but if you hear thunder, for example, you're sleeping in the middle of the night, you hear thunder. There it's your emotions and then your brain that enters afterwards. So it's the other way as what you said. It's
yeah, I can understand that. No, I have this conversation with the coach of Davis Cup, the tennis Davis Cup, and he was asking me to do this interview because he wanted a session about this theory. And then he was surprised that he said, I thought that emotions were quicker than thoughts. It's not like that. I mean, first, you have to have an image that is considered by like Einstein, like this is already a subatomic particle wave of information and energy, and that could be conscious or unconscious. So if I'm dreaming, my unconscious already had the thought or the image of a danger, and then the emotion would be the synaptic response, like liberating some chemistry because of that thought. It doesn't mean that it can be unconscious as well. What?
Want to add that what Maria says is that if you hear the thunder and you have like an emotion connected to the thunder, is because our ancestors and in the morphogenetic field, there's already a connection between that emotion and the thunder.
Yeah, it's already a memory, and that comes by instinct from the past.
If we happen to have a new stimulus not known in this planet, we wouldn't know how to react. We even, perhaps we don't even perceive it because we don't have the imagery, the machinery to.
Well, a good example to that is when we see clients go into deep hypnosis, when they don't realize what they're living. They don't know how to describe it much, but they are happy. They're at peace. They're at ease. Yeah. Okay.
So then the instincts come from a memory that is left there by every single organism, from amoeba, from the beginning of times in the world until now. Everything is like put in this huge memory at the quantic level, at the subatomic level. And then if you receive information by intuition, you are receiving it in high speed from the frequency of what we call future. But it's not that it's like future, it's like the anticipation of new possibilities, of being able to solve a conflict of every single human, every single organism, living organism. So you have instincts that have from the frequency, the instincts come from the frequency or the memory for survival from the organisms left in the past. And the intuition is the information that comes from the frequency of the future. It's like all our future possibilities. So when we are dreaming, we are like, our processor is processing all these situations that has to do with survival. Like, for example, in the reptilian brain is dying or killing. In the cortex, or the mammifer, how you say that?
Mammalian brain.
Mammalian brain, then you have this protection instinct.
The limbic.
You can even have problems in your skin if you are feeling that you are being like in a threatening situation those days, or you are not feeling protection.
Somebody irritates you.
Yeah, or my kid used to have this when we parents were on a trip, so his skin will react because this is protection organ. So so then you have this kind of instinct activation to help you to survive, but it comes from the memory. Now, if I have
fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. Then if we are receiving information by intuition, that will be information of future possibilities we can use or we can activate to be able to solve this survival, whatever situation.
How do
it's activated.
How do you activate your intuition? What is intuition?
That's a very good question. To be able to receive from quicker frequencies, we need to empty our our perception has to be in the present, totally empty, like when you are meditating. Like when you are like point zero, when you are neutral. We are not, when in mediation we say impartial, that we are not taking a charge, like we are not judging.
Yeah.
So we are not judging that this is good or bad or thinking about something. We are just observing without the experiences, without judging the situation.
That's what Joe Dispenza calls being nowhere, no one, no time, no nothing, no just being
empty. We call it like a vacuum space.
Like an empty vessel.
Yeah, emptiness. And so then when we are very afraid of emptiness, especially existential emptiness. So when we can have this peace and state of emptiness, then higher frequencies are being able to, we are being able to receive information from higher frequencies, and that would be intuition language. And it has certain characteristics. For example, what we were talking about, that something would come to be very suddenly. It's not rational. I know that, I feel that I know something. I get the guts feeling, but I still don't have words to describe it. But I have the feeling of certainty, and it will be something totally new, and that will be very characteristic, something that I never had before as an answer to the same situation. Like, for example, I said, like, I would never imagine that this will be solving itself so quickly without an effort, taking a shortcut so suddenly, and with a less use of energy. So then I can start recognizing this language of intuition. And every time I recognize it, I can say, thank you. Because when you say thank you, our unconscious will continue going that way, taking more situations in where intuition will be activated. And then I will be recognizing, oh, again, this is totally amazing. How can I solve it? Like if I had a magic stick, like, creating reality so quickly. How is it possible? I thought I was not going to find a place. I thought I was not going to arrive on time. So I had to let go these feelings, or I mean, let these thoughts, because thoughts are the ones in charge of creating feelings. So let them go, let them pass like clouds, and then just be empty to be able to receive new information that will make me be surprised and will take much more elements of the surroundings to solve that situation.
Absolutely.